I know a lot of people would love to trade futures using Royalq in the crypto market, but because they fear the idea of losing out the market automatically, they try to stay, to step aside or to stay away from the futures market. I came up with this strategy that can safeguard your capital up to 400%, 400% from your entry point, meaning that the market can only liquidate you if a coin goes against you by 400% from your entry point, which is highly unlikely for coins that are curated and interfaced by Royalq. That's why I encourage everyone to use Royalq for the safety of your money. Now, if you're using Royalq, you are trading these coins that are curated and interfaced by Royalq, because Royalq is not an exchange. It is not a liquidity pool, or it has no liquidity pools. So what it does, it just actually interfaces these assets from these exchanges, as you can see them here. For me, I use Binance. So what you do is very simple. You follow my strategy, but my strategy is for only trading one coin, and the other thing is it is for cross margin. The other thing is you will need my signals. So for you to have access to my signals, you will either have to use my Royalq link, or you will have to add me as your mentor on Royalq. On Royalq, I use that name, Trust God. Go to the mentors section here and look for Trust God. I have not actually been into the thing of mentor, but because I have embarked on the journey of trading futures and I see a lot of people fear trading futures, that's why I was like, okay, you can now add me as your mentor, Trust God. As you can see it here, Trust God. That's what you have to look for. So let's go into this strategy and how to set it. I apologize if I've wasted a lot of time. So we shall choose a coin here randomly, on these coins experiencing an uptrend. So let's say I'm to trade Loca. I've sent you a signal of Loca. I always send signals every now and then, every now and then. As you can see, I always send signals, and my signals have a win rate of 98%, meaning that all my signals always win. Sometimes we may delay in the market, but they always end up winning. So sometimes all you have to do is practice patience, but majority of these signals, they don't spend more than, let's say, 1 hour, more than 1 hour, as a duration. Majority of them actually spend 30 minutes and you've made your money. So here we shall go for create, and we shall look into these two pages. Here are two intertwined pages, long and short. So majority of the times we are gonna be shorting the market instead of longing. So here you can see that I've been trading this coin. So we shall go to trade settings, and we shall choose manually create here, and manual create, we shall come here on this page. So I'll go for my template, and I'll choose a template that safeguards me from easily losing to the market. So I'll choose a template of $100 million market cap. Why do you have to care much about a market cap of a coin? Because a market cap determines the coin's volatility. A coin with a higher market cap will experience a lower volatility compared to a coin with a lower market cap. A coin like Bitcoin will experience a lower volatility compared to a coin like Loca. So what we shall do here is we shall always go with this template of $100 million market cap. So the other thing is very important is the strategy mode. When you're shorting the market, always and always only use whole warehouse mode. Never use sub-bin mode, never use sub-bin real-time settlement. Why? Because these whole positions will always be counted as profits, but the rest of these positions, from the 5th position to any other position you have actually you have included, they will always be counted as short squeezes. They will be counted as short squeezes, so you will be losing money instead of gaining. It is Binance that will count them as short squeezes, and you may not know it, but because I trade, that's why I'm sharing with you from my experience. So that's it. And the other thing with Royalq, the good thing about Royalq, it will always give you the safest amounts of coins or tokens to trade. So you can go with Royalq's amount. You don't need to actually edit here, fidget editing here. You can go with Royalq's amount that actually it has provided for you. So the other thing is about leverage. I use a leverage of 5x for protection. I want to protect my capital. That's something very important to me. I would rather earn $1 of my $500 capital, but when my capital is safe, because I want to stay consistent. Consistency wins. This idea of quick riches forcing your small capital to make you big profits, it's actually your worst enemy in the market. Now, when it comes to margin call limit, I always use a position, 22 positions, because I know some coins can become way too stubborn. When it comes to whole position take profit ratio, basically take profit, I always use a 2.1. 2.1 are my profits. Then this 0.1 is to cater for these callbacks. Now, why do I use a 2% take profit or a 2.1? I want to scalp the market. I want to be in and out as early as possible. I don't want to incur funding fees, because with exchanges they charge us funding fees. That's an extra charge that you can avoid. Now, when it comes to my margin configuration, when it comes to the side of distances, I always readjust depending on how volatile the coin is. So when it comes to margin calls, all these distances, I always set a distance of 4. This is my minimum, but I can even extend it to 16, because some coins can tend to become way too volatile, like we saw recently Viction. Now we are seeing Hyper. These coins are becoming stubborn. So I use this distance that whenever a coin goes against me by another 4%, Royalq buys again with only a one time. One time is my first buy in amount, because I want to safeguard my capital. That's very important, my dear friend. Capital is king. So the rest of everything can stay the way they are. Even here on distributed take profit allocation, I use a 3%, not a 1.3%. Why? Because here I have used a 4%, but this right now does not matter that much, because we are using a whole warehouse mode. Never use these other modes when you're shorting the market. That is very important. So after that, you say you can save. I use sometimes cycle, sometimes I use short. I only use cycle when the market is ranging, when a particular asset is ranging. Then I use one shot when the market is trending. Maybe like if it's taking an uptrend or it's taking a downtrend, I use one shot. But when the market is ranging, I use cycle. Then I think that's it. I remember to always cross check. It has to be one shot when the market is trending, or a cycle when the market is ranging. Then it has to be hallway house mode as a must. Don't use a leverage beyond 5x, because here we are protecting our capital, mostly when we are shorting the market, because it is easier for you to make profits when you're shorting than it is when you are longing. Why? Because let me show you here, very simple, on our chart here. I'm very sure that the market will revisit all these regions, but I'm not sure if the market is gonna go up here. I'm not sure, but I'm very sure that the market will revisit these regions, because in Uganda we have a saying that says that water always revisits paths it has passed through, amazzi gakutulukutira gye gaali gakutulukutiddengako. So that's why I am very sure that when it comes to shorting, I always get my profits guaranteed. Yeah, so that's it basically, guys. May the good Lord bless you. I love you all. Take good care, protect your capital, don't be greedy, use Royalq as a must. You can always look out for me. I provide these signals and I believe they can help you a lot, and I provide lectures and everything. All you need to be is my Royalq downline or use my Royalq link. May the good Lord bless you. Love you all. Uncle Investor.